Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be trying to tackle my April TBR. It is about halfway through the month and I have only read one book so far out of 7 for my TBR, so I am really hoping that I could get through a few more, and in this video I'm going to try to tackle 3 of the books that are left. So the first book that I am wanting to read is Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. I've had this on my TBR for a while. My sister gifted me the box set of these ones, and so it's time I pick it up, right? So in this we have Lore, and she has been imprisoned for 12 years with her brother and sister, and somehow she escapes or someone helps her out. I'm not quite sure yet, but she ends up getting out of the prison and she ends up in a competition trying to become the queen. There are other tributes, there are some trials. If you've watched my other videos, you know I have read a few books like this and they have not lived up to what I'm wanting. I want hardcore trials. I want to see some crazy stuff happen, so I'm hoping in this one it does. But yeah, so she goes into this competition to become the queen of the Sun Realm or something. She's going to be the queen to the Sun King, and she really wants revenge on the king of where she's from, who is the one who imprisoned her. So I'm very curious to see how this one goes. I'm very excited about this. It's giving Hunger Games meets The Bachelor, so I'm very excited to see about this one. You guys know I love a book like this, so this is book number 1 that I'm going to try and tackle this month. The next book that I have really been wanting to read is This Story Might Save Your Life by Tiffany Crum. This one is about 2 podcasters. They have a podcast where they talk about survival stories, so it's about like these crazy things that happen and how the people survive them. One of you lovely subscribers told me that the audiobook version has extra content, like more of the podcasting stuff, so I got it on audiobook and I'm going to be listening to it there, which I am very excited about. I love an audiobook, but I'm very specific about like the narrator and everything like that, and I got a sample and it sounds great, so I'm really excited about this. But there's someone goes missing, one of the podcasters goes missing, and the other one is accused of doing it, and so I'm curious to see what happened to her. I don't know much else about it, but I'm very excited for this one and I'm very excited for the audiobook, so thank you to whoever recommended that to me. The final book that I am wanting to read in this video is It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. I don't know that I've ever read anything by this author before, but essentially this book is about a family that goes on vacation. The main character hears a blood-curdling scream and her brother and sister-in-law are murdered and the niece is missing. And her nephew is found unharmed in the house, but the niece is missing, so they're like, did she do that? But apparently there are a bunch of secrets in her family. There's also secrets about this town that they're on vacation in, and so I'm very curious to see how this goes, who done did it. And yeah, I love a thriller. This one should be a quick, easy read, but I'm very excited. I feel like I have a good range of topics here, and so I'm very excited to dig into these books, and I'll see you when I have my first update. Okay, I am back and I have an update. I have read so much of Trial of the Sun Queen. I am loving this book. I am having the hardest time putting it down. I stayed up way too late last night reading this. I am like 55% through, I think. I'm on chapter 20 and oh my goodness, I am loving this. Okay, so we start with Lore, and she is in this prison and she's been in there for 12 years, which is like unheard of. People usually don't survive there that long, and she's in there with her brother and her sister, and so maybe that's what's helped her survive. Like, she has people looking out for her, but she also becomes like such a badass, not gonna lie. I mean, she runs this place and she's a little fighter, like it's crazy. But anywho, so she gets into some trouble and she gets thrown into like the pit. I don't even remember exactly what it's called, but essentially it's a freaking pit in the ground in the forest that all of these people are scared of because there's monsters that lurk around and stuff, and she gets kidnapped from this pit. She wakes up in a castle in silky sheets, and She literally wakes up in a castle. Like, it's crazy. So she gets kidnapped and she's forced to be in this competition with 9 other girls to become the Sun Queen, and she's known as the final tribute. So the other 9 girls are fae, and so they're rich. They've been training for this their whole lives pretty much, and she is essentially like, they call her an Umbra rat, which is so rude, but she's from like the common town pretty much. There's also some like secrecy happening, but I'm not sure that it's like, maybe it matters deeply more into the story than I'm recognizing. But we're also getting a second point of view from Nadir, I think is how you say his name, and he is the prince of the place that she escaped from, essentially. So we're seeing his side of like hunting for her, and it's kind of just like randomly dispersed in there, but we're seeing a little bit of the hunt for her, and then we are also seeing her going through these trials. And so I've done one of the trials and I did find it cool. I thought maybe like the premise of it was a little bit basic, but once you got into it I was like, oh my gosh, wait, this is kind of crazy. So I'm very excited to hear about some of the other trials, but I cannot put this down. I cannot wait to go continue reading it. I thought that's annoying. I didn't want to get too far in because like then I'm just giving a review of the book. I wanted to give at least a little bit of an update, but I am loving it. Can't put it down. Genuinely enjoying this one. So yes. The next book that I'm reading is This Story Might Save Your Life, and I am about, what, 40% through in the audiobook? Let me just be sure. Wow, okay, I am actually 46% through this, so I've gotten to about halfway of each of them, but in Book World, that corresponds to, they don't have chapters in this. 167 pages, but they don't have chapters in this. When we start this book, there is the 2 main characters, Joy and Benny, and they have a podcast, and in their podcast, it's like sort of a comedy survival story thing where one of them says like a random thing that you could get caught in, the other one tries to figure out a way to survive it, and then the one who introduced the story tells of someone else who actually went through this and how they actually survived it. So it's pretty crazy. The story that they're telling in the beginning is someone who was in a kayak and a humpback whale came and like caught her up. So never actually figured out how she survived that. They didn't tell us. But one of you did tell me to listen to the audiobook because it has exclusive content, and I am loving it. It is amazing. It is so fun to hear, like, when they're doing the podcast, it sounds different. It's amazing. I am very much loving that. So thank you to you for recommending that to me. But after that first episode day, he leaves, and when he comes back in the morning, because they're supposed to finish the story, her and her husband are gone, missing. No one knows where they are. And she's like calling them, the phone's not going through, one of the cars is missing, and one of her windows was broken in. There was a storm that night, so maybe it was that, but we don't know. And so they're really just trying to figure out where the heck they are. All of this is also happening while we are getting chapters of Joy, the one who went missing. Her and Benny were writing a memoir, and so we're sort of hearing her read off her side of the story of like how they met and her meeting her husband and going through a lot of different things. So we are getting that backstory at the same time as we're seeing Benny sort of looking for her, and the police aren't finding anything, which is kind of crazy. But I'm on day 3 now, so it's been 2 days since she went missing, and still we don't know anything. I just left off on a part where someone gets out of a car and Benny starts crying, so I am very curious to see what's happening with that. But one thing I will say is I hate Joy's husband. Hate him. I'm sitting in my car listening to this and I'm like, oh, I hate this man. Like, he just really pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. He's very controlling. Oh, and she has narcolepsy, so he says things under the ruse of like protecting her, but in reality I think that he is just very controlling, and I don't like it. It gives me the ick. So I'm not enjoying that man. I feel like there must be some underlying feelings between Benny and Joy, but I would love to see where that goes because I'm very curious. I want to know what happened to Joy and why it happened, and I cannot wait to figure it out. So I'm going to continue listening to this and reading Trial of the Sun Queen. I have two crafts that I really want to try. I have one where you make like a beaded potted plants, and then another where you make mosaic coasters. So I cannot decide which one I want to do with you guys here on video, but I want to do that. I'm considering maybe a little spread in my reading journal just because those are really fun, and I am going paddleboarding tomorrow night to the sunset with my friends, so that'll be really fun. But I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go back to reading. It is actually only a few hours later, and like I said, I could not put Trial of the Sun Queen down, and I finished it. So I was like, let me just give this update while it's still on my mind. But I forgot to mention in my past update, I did think that the Sun King, something was off about him. Like, he was just a little too perfect, right? And you just know that that ain't right. So I left off at halfway through. She had just finished her first trial, so we end up seeing the next 3 trials. And do they meet the criteria that I have for a set of trials? No. I think that the first one was the one that was the coolest, and then the last one was like rage bait, quite frankly, because it was just horrific and unkind, and I didn't really like it. And then I felt like it ended very, very satisfyingly. I was very happy with the ending of this one. I can't wait to read the next one, but I was very satisfied with this one. The ending, yeah, you know when you're just like, I hate that man? Like how I feel about the husband in This Story Might Save Your Life. That's how I feel about one of the characters in this one. Just hate that guy. So yeah, but there's a lot of cool characters in this. I feel like Lore makes a lot of friends along the way, and then we sort of see like other romances that are happening, and there is spice in it, just FYI. For those of you who don't like that, there is spice in here. But I'm kind of annoyed that it took me so long to read this. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I did enjoy it. So I can't wait to read the next one, because I know that there are still some secrets that we don't know about. And I found out one secret, and I had a little inkling about it. I really was like, I wonder. But now I know. Now I'm sure. So I'm like, let me see what's next. But I have a lot more books on my TBR for this month that I need to finish, so maybe that'll go on the TBR for next month, but I am very excited to read the next book. I loved this. Someone told me it is compared to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't agree. I think there's like one plot point that could be said is similar, but otherwise I don't really agree. So if that has stopped you from reading it, don't let it stop you, because I don't agree. But very good. Very good. I'm gonna go listen to my audiobook and do some crafting, I think. But I will see you guys tomorrow, because I want to take off my face, and yeah, so Okie dokie, I have another update, and I am now 75% through This Story Might Save Your Life, and wow. Wow, I am on page 274, and we left off with Joy is still missing, and Benny, someone got out of the car to meet him. It was not who we hope, obviously. We start to see more of the investigation into Joy's disappearance, and we're also hearing the calls from listeners. So he put up like a post on the broadcast and was like, if you guys have any tips, please let us know. And so we're hearing all of these outrageous calls, and I think that is a very fun part of this. But yeah, so they're going through the motions of sort of investigating, and I feel like Benny thinks the police aren't doing enough, and so him and his sister, they begin to sort of be detectives themselves, and so they're trying to hunt down things, and Joy did leave him clues, which is the craziest part. So I feel like everything kind of went crazier than it was meant to go. At this point in time, that's what I feel happened. Like, everything just kind of got out of hand, and she had left him clues for something else, but it helps him in his trek to find her, if that makes sense. Not saying he's found her yet, because he hasn't, but I'm assuming this is going to happen at some point in time. And we are seeing that her memoir was more telling than what Benny knew. So there were a lot of secrets going on in this friendship, in their marriages, and just in general. We're seeing some characters that we thought were minor turn out to be not as minor as they wanted us to believe. So there are some faces now that I'm just like, ooh, I knew I shouldn't trust you. Didn't like you from the start. Still hate her husband. Sorry. But we still haven't found Joy. I'm like, can we please tell me? I mean, I know, but can we tell Benny? Where's the girl at? And I feel like I know she has a stalker. It's like a big part of this. I feel like I figured out who it is. I'm probably wrong, but I think I know. And then also there's something crazy, and I feel like I know who did that also, but I could be wrong. But I don't think I am. But I might be. So who knows? Usually I'm wrong, but whatever. I am very much enjoying this. I'm listening to it 24/7. I will have it finished by tomorrow, and I will give you my final update then. But I have also started It's Not Her. Oh my god. Okay, let me just tell you where I'm at. This one doesn't have chapters either. What is up with that? Can we just not have chapter numbers? Like, I need the number to tell you guys. I am 82 pages in. I don't know how many chapters that equals, but whatever. 82 chapters in, and wowie. Okay, this is so crazy to me because what happened to this family? Like, it's quite frankly outrageous to me. And where is Reese? Where is she? Where is she? And these poor children, like, they don't tell you in the synopsis that there's another daughter. Like, okay, so pretty much in the synopsis it says the girl walks into the house and finds her brother and his sister, her brother and his wife dead, and the son is sleeping upstairs, and then the daughter's missing. What they don't tell you in the synopsis is that there's another daughter. There's another 10-year-old daughter, and she's actually the one who stumbles upon what happened at that house. And I am just like, how horrifying. I did not like that part. Okay, we still don't know who Reese is, but she met a boy, and so maybe she was with him all night and she didn't do anything. But I'm scared. I'm scared. What if she was kidnapped? This person is vicious, frankly, and wow. And why did they leave the brother? Why'd they leave the son? I have so many questions. I've barely gotten into this one, but oh my golly gee. And then the main character's husband was fishing. The police think it's suspicious, so now I do too. Hello? I can't. I need to go finish reading this and then I'll be back and then we could talk about it. But I did start working on the mosaic coasters. I have glued down all of the little glass pieces and I just have to add the grout. I'm not sure if that's what they call it in mosaics, but I need to add the grout to it and then I can use them, and I'm very excited because they came out so cute. The kit that I got gave a bunch of different colors, and so you can choose your own mixtures of colors, you can choose your own patterns. I'm very basic. I did a checkerboard. I think it's super cute. I'm very excited about it, but now I want to buy more and give them to people as gifts. But I will probably get on with these books and do a little bit more crafting. I am going to go paddleboarding still, so I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait to see the sunset. It's been a while. I usually have a class at this time from 5 to 7 p.m. and so I don't get to go paddleboarding. It was canceled today. I get to go hang out with my friends and I'm very excited about it. But yeah, I will come back and I will talk to you guys tomorrow and hopefully have some very exciting updates. So see you then. Hey guys, I am back. I made my coasters and I'm obsessed. Honestly, they're so cute. I was really excited to make these. Also, I've always wanted to work with stained glass and all the little colors were so cute and so fun. Let me grab one to show you. So they are finished and I had to put grout in them, which is like my first time using grout, but I think they're so cute. I cannot wait to use them. They have to like set for a few hours or something, but I'm very happy. Honestly, this was one of the more fun kits that I have bought, so I'm very happy with this. But I also have some bookish updates. So I have finished This Story Might Save Your Life, and it was a 4-star for me. Honestly, I really enjoyed listening to it as an audiobook. I think it made it so much better. It was so immersive hearing how different it sounded when it was like during the podcast moments, but I felt like Joy's location was revealed at like 70%, and then it's kind of like, what is going on? What am I listening for? You know what I'm saying? And Benny is still searching for her. So like there's still questions that we haven't answered at that point, but it was kind of annoying to know where she is and then he's freaking out and we're like, well, we already know she's fine, so like who cares? But yeah, I just felt like it was kind of slow, and I don't think this is a thriller, honestly. It had a little bit of mystery in it, but there wasn't any moment that was like, oh, jump scare or anything like that. So I think that I would say maybe more of a mystery than a thriller. It didn't give me that like shocking moment that I was waiting, that I was expecting, and so I feel like that's why it was a little lackluster for me. I loved the premise of it. I love the podcast. I think they're so funny. All of the parts where we hear them talk about their podcast is really funny, but I didn't feel like it was a thriller. So yeah, that is This Story Might Save Your Life. I have also made more progress on It's Not Her, and this one is giving me what I'm looking for, I guess, because, well, who knows? I mean, it is a very similar premise, which was not intentional, but Reese is missing in this one as well, and we're seeing her aunt's point of view and trying to get the police to look for her and like going on these search parties in the woods and trying to find her, and then finding out more things about the boy that she had met and weird things about other family members that you're kind of just like, oh no, I don't like that. And sort of putting questions in my head about certain people where I'm just like, ooh, is it you? But is it you? This one definitely has me in more of like a guessing game mindset. I also was reading this like in the dark last night and I was like, this is not a good idea. Like, I am gonna have nightmares, but I didn't. Thank God. I haven't gotten to anything. The beginning is gruesome and then it really isn't after that. But who knows? I feel like it's more of a like in my mind, I just want to know who did it and they have me guessing, and who knows if I'll be right. In This Story Might Save Your Life, no, I was very, very wrong. I had no clue. Multiple times I was wrong. So probably won't get this one right either, but that's the fun of it. That's what I like. So yeah, but this is the last book that is going into this video, so I'm very excited, and that would be 3 more books from my April TBR that I have finished. So I will be back when I have finished this one, probably tomorrow, but see you then. One last thing I did want to say is that I am starting to do a lot more updates on Fable, and I am having so much fun with it. I love that you can like post pictures of the things that you're reading and stuff like that. So I am going to link my Fable down below, as well as my Pinterest. If you guys are interested in looking at them, I've been way more active on both of those over like the past week or two, and I am having so much fun with it. So if you would like to join me on any other platform, I have them all linked down below. But yeah, so now for real, I will see you later. Okay, I have finally finished It's Not Her, and oh my goodness, I was not ready for the twist at the end of this. I genuinely was so shocked by like how everything happened and like the reasoning behind it. I was convinced it was someone, and then someone else, and then someone else, and I was wrong about every single person. So obviously I am not very good at this, but it does make me want to read Local Woman Missing. I think that is another book by this author, and apparently it's better. I really enjoyed this one. Honestly, I felt like it was very twisty. It had me guessing the whole time, and I couldn't believe who did it. Like, what? There was one other twist at the end that I did figure out, so, you know, gotta give myself credit where credit's due. But for most of it, I was very wrong. Very, very wrong. But that's okay. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed all 3 books that I read, honestly. I'm very happy that I was able to check all 3 of these books off of my April TBR. I have 3 more to go, so hopefully I can get through those soon, because May is coming up quickly and there's so much going on, so I cannot wait. But yeah, I have to decide what book I want to read next, which I think is the hardest part, but that's okay because I'm gonna read them all anyway, so I might as well just start one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I spoiled anything for you, but I really just hope that it was a fun time all around because it was fun for me. If you have any video ideas that you would like me to do, I would love to know. I'm definitely gonna do more of the A to Z challenges because I really want to get that finished, but anything else that you guys might like to see me do, I would love to know. So yeah, see you next time.